be viewable or whatever?
We'll be on YouTube right away, and then I'll write a story and we'll do a post the interview together on our homepage on Monday when the Emmy ballots go out.
Awesome. And if you don't mind giving us a link, we'll be happy to tweet it out.
That's what you think.
Well, Joel won't because you haven't paid him for it.
We like to keep these as quiet as possible, so we won't be sending links.
That's E's motto about our show too.
We have Joel McHale, KP Anderson, Edward Boyd here from The Soup. And let me ask you first, guys. We'll start with KP there. What about that Emmy nomination last year? Finally getting in on the short format version.
Yes, that was very exciting. We were nominated in the category of best thing that isn't a show, I think is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And we got in that lucky year when you get to be up against the president and Zach Galifianakis. But it was really exciting. It was a great night, and you know, I think all shows should have to earn 10 years before they get the nod.
Have that lag first to keep you humble.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Breaking Bad wasn't good until its 11th season.
Well, you know, that is a show that took a while. I mean, Brian got a nomination right away, but the show didn't catch on right away at all with the Emmy voters.
And that was clear because they had to appear on The Soup at one point.
Yeah.
That showed you
Yeah.
how hard it was struggling.
They were regulars for a while. The two of them came a few times.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'll.
They would do interviews with us early on too, but by the end they would not. So I'm sure they weren't making appearances with you at the end either.
Yeah, they got TSA pre-cleared for their Emmy nomination after season 3.
They had the global entry.
Well, Edward, did Zach rub it in at all? I know he wasn't there at the ceremony, but Joel, I think all three of you were there, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, we were gonna miss out on that.
I don't even think we saw him though, did we? I was super drunk, so
Yeah. No, I don't think Zach and the president didn't show up, but
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was who did show up? Scott showed up, I think, from Funny or Die.
my agent
Yeah.
showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott, the head of Funny or Die did.
Yeah.
Ed has an agent apparently.
Well, this year, the other good news. Well, first of all, do you have an entry there this year in that short format category?
Did we? I honestly don't know. Did we put comedians in cars getting cocaine into the mix?
I'm not certain.
We don't know.
We sure should have.
We should have. That would have been a great idea.
Did we not?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I know that we submitted
In a bunch of other categories.
Yeah, writing, host, and sketch variety. Yeah, but
This is the swagger. We have the swagger of a show that's won so many Emmys. We're not even sure what we put out for nomination.
Yeah.
But our secret weapon is that we've never won any and only been nominated for one.
Well, that may change this year. You know, they've got that new variety sketch category, which seems tailor-made for your show. I've got you in my predictions to get in for that. What do you think about this world of variety right now on TV in terms of just so much more of it?
Yeah, I think it's actually, and this is a sincere answer, so you guys can jump all over me. But I think it's
All right, dummy.
I think it's actually really cool. I think, especially when you look at, you know, like the advent of what Amy Schumer's doing, Key and Peele, and that great sketch show with Caitlyn Jenner that he is prepping. I think that it's a good time for it because there's a lot of great stuff that's emerging as, you know, as poignant, important comedy, if you will.
Edward, which of those do you watch?
Amy Schumer is probably. I mean, I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon, the Amy Schumer bandwagon, because she's fucking hilarious and makes a lot of good points, and she seems super nice too. I'd like to get drunk with her. I get drunk a lot in case you.
What he does, he gets pre-drunk and then goes and looks for her.
Waits to see if he meets someone.
I mean, it seems like every week her show is making waves with some new sketch that goes viral. I mean, every week she has a really great sketch that's not only funny, but, you know, seems to be catching a wave of where America's at, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you guys too. I mean, when every week on the internet, I see where people pull different moments out of the show from the previous week and so forth. And you have submitted the April 10th episode from this year that featured John Cryer. Joel, why was that one an appealing one for you to submit for the Emmy voters?
He called me so many times, just around the clock. Please, please, please submit that. Please, I want more people to buy my book. I need more money. I don't know. No, so. Yeah, we submitted that one because we kind of felt he was particularly great, and The jokes were really good that night. I think it was live.
Yeah, I think it wasn't live. I can't
remember, but he's so funny, and we just thought it was a really good show. So basically, we submitted a show on the shoulders of somebody who's been on the #1 comedy for the last decade, hoping that we will draft off him and get a nomination.
Yeah, we also felt like the nominations were due pretty close to when we taped that show. I think it was within a week or so.
Yeah.
And we can't remember anything before that.
Yeah, but we did feel like we were sort of poignant on topic, and whatever the stories were that week were right up there that hopefully voters would also remember and would go, oh yeah, look what they did with that thing that I was talking about at that period of time.
The way they remember us every year.
He's hilarious, Joe. What can you say?
He's so great. And
John's one of those guys who's
buy his book.
And a 2-time Emmy winner, so maybe some of that gold will rub off.
Yeah, you'd think he would get online and vote. You think it wouldn't kill him to just show up. Does he get 2 votes?
He gets like 12, I think.
No, he just gets I don't even know if he's a member, but I think he just gets the 1.
He's like California when it comes to members of Congress.
Yeah.
Well, and so many categories too at the Emmys. I mean, you know from going to the creative arts last year that just so many at the Emmys, just like the Grammys. The Oscars are the only ones that are kind of conservative on that.
Yeah, no, there needs to be this many categories because there's so many people that work so dang hard in entertainment, and they should have awards. If they're only giving, if everyone else is going to be nominated, all these categories need to be nominated. And I love it when makeup and hair and costume, and they all, and then technically it needs to be recognized because people don't realize how important it is.
Yeah, if this doesn't work, this next year we're going for a local sports Emmy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not bad. Well, I do applaud the Academy. Every year they do look at what's going on, and they like this year they made some new rules about these shows that really can't be classified. I guess we'd call them a dramedy, but they came down pretty hard on Orange is the New Black, forcing it to move over to drama. What do you think about just that world of like drama and comedy right now on television?
Well, as they say, and I agreed, it's the golden age of television again, and I think it's terrific that shows are doing both. And so there probably should be a category. I don't know what you would call it, because dramedy is such an invented word that I don't know. I think there should be a category because Nurse Jackie was funny, but it was also serious. So it's hard to. Yeah,
it is kind of weird.
Great shows, but
Yeah, being not in that category, I'm sure that if you talk to the people on Blackish and the Goldbergs and the straight up comedies, they would go good. Separate that out. But there is something that's odd that you can't go. Yeah, your show was a little too poignant for being funny. I don't think you deserve an award. There's got to be something that acknowledges that that's actually a unique skill inside of a show in and of itself to make you think along the way.
Because Scorpion is hilarious.
Yeah,
it is.
Any particular ones you're pulling for this year? Maybe some of the newcomers?
I definitely think Daredevil should be nominated.
Yes.
That show is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I think, have you heard of this show called House of Cards?
Vaguely.
Oh, that should be nominated. What do you guys think?
I'd love to see Wendy McClendon-Covey get the best actress in a comedy.
Yes,
I would love that. I think Constance Wu was pretty amazing on Fresh Off the Boat too. But Wendy, who's been on the show a bunch, is she's so amazing on that show. It's a whole other. She takes it over.
But if I have to pick one show, I'd say probably this show called Community.
Oh,
yeah. It's on Yahoo Screen right now. It's a Yahoo show. So that would just be. I just think that show.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was playing the community game earlier.
Yeah, not
the community game. Yeah. So
not to take away from the work that.
Wait. Are you taking away from the work?
No, I just think that
you say not to take away.
The
from
end of the
work.
season commercial that you just showed us was probably one of the funniest things I've seen in the last 3 or 4 months that Dan wrote.
So when I showed you Ken Jeong trying to learn PowerPoint, that came in
I
second.
think any part of Community that doesn't have you acting is pretty solid.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's an attack now.
Yeah.
It's an attack.
Personal attack.
I've shown him exactly 4 minutes of Community in the last 6 months, and that is the total of what he has seen.
That is
Community.
untrue. I am 5 episodes in. Don't quiz me.
Listen, I have all the DVDs of the previous season, so I'm a big fan.
God bless you, guy that I don't work with.
I hope that put a few pennies in your pocket.
It didn't. I don't have the share of that. The only thing I get to do is I get everybody's wardrobe and I sell it.
Well, you're moving over into variety sketch. You also have the variety talk category. I just had Conan O'Brien on yesterday talking about his Cuba special from earlier this year, which was great.
That's all.
Yeah,
the other one that hasn't. Well, I was going to say the thing about that category, though, and I'm glad that they created the 2, is it's been so not that they don't deserve it, but it's been like the same 6 nominees for 3 or 4 years in a row. So it's nice that, I mean, I would love to see like a David Letterman come back into the category just as a farewell.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you gotta if you're Conan, you've got to be thinking, I did that Cuba episode, and it was brilliant television. And you go, why did we turn that in on the same year Jon Stewart announced he's leaving? I think there's got to be that frustration in there, just because you know that there's going to be a lot of Daily Show. The Daily Show, you know, one of the reasons why those shows have been there for so long is because the quality just is unyielding on Conan included on all those shows.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because John's got episodes this summer, he'll actually be eligible again one more time next year. But for the Colbert Report and David Letterman, I mean, this is it for those 2 shows.
Yeah. Of everything I've seen, I'd have to say Conan in Cuba is hands down the best that I've seen in a long time in that category.
Partially produced by a former production assistant on The Soup.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Jesse Gaskell. She produced that with Conan. And
Yeah, very funny. The other one, the newcomer to that category, really though, is John Oliver. This will be the first time he competes there.
Yeah.
But his show is so bad.
Yeah. Nobody's watching. Nobody cares.
Nobody sees it on YouTube. millions and millions of times after.
that show's amazing, obviously.
Yeah, John Oliver is wow. That it's just I don't get too excited too often, but that show is really remarkable.
They came out of the gate swinging. Like, the production staff on that show is amazing. The amount of research, that very first episode, you obviously could tell that they were, hustling behind the scenes to put together something that was gonna be new and go an extra mile. It was.
I mean, if you had said,
impressive.
we're gonna let a comedian do 19 minutes on allowing women to have longer maternity leaves or any maternity leave, you'd say, I don't think that's going to be a possible show. And it is so funny, and and you learn a lot. And
he and Tim Carvell are just so perfectly suited for that expansion into the larger world than the Daily Show covers. It's just fantastic.
Well, look at the net neutrality. I hate to get all serious, but I mean, he made a huge freaking difference in public sentiment towards net neutrality, and and the vote went partially the way it went. I think because he had that big rant on his show.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
it's hard to come out of the gates like that.
It is literally like I was joking with the Community cast, because that's another show that I'd like to mention. No, that we were doing a tweet thing. We were texting each other, the cast, and I texted them this article called "The John Oliver Effect" in Time Magazine, and went on, and then we said "fuck" twice this year on Community, and we were thrilled. So it's about the same.
You may have the ear, the eyes of a few Emmy voters here. What's a good reason they should consider you for this new sketch category?
The greatest show on television.
Yeah. And if they give us this nomination, we'll go away. We promise we won't bother you next year.
Yeah. As you know, E is known for comedy.
Yeah.
And so that I think we provide a service.
Yeah, and frankly, I do honestly feel that the work that comes out of our staff on a week in and week out basis, 48, 50 weeks a year,
they have to do one show a week.
Well, no, I'm making the sincere plea.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, The quality and the level of what we've done and what our staff has done really, given the weirdly limited playing field that we sit inside of, with reality shows and pop culture news, and you wind up with a lot of the same resource material week in and week out. And the fact that we've got writers and production staff who are able to figure out new ways for us to make it different, for us to make it fun every single time around. I do give them a lot of credit. I give Joel and Ed a lot of credit. I haven't lifted a finger since 2008.
Yeah, because he gets tired out so quick.
Yeah, I do feel like I do get tired out very quickly. I do feel like we've managed to maintain a quality, and in the past couple of years, we've even hit different places. The thing that we got nominated for last year, The True Detective, was an incredibly unique thing for us to go out and do with no money. And Dominic DeLeo, who wrote it, and Dan Reese, who directed, and Joel and Jim Rash in it. It was a really, really fun thing. Same thing about the Comedians in Cars, which we may or may not have submitted.
Wait till
Monday night.
Yeah, wait till you may see that.
Yeah,
man, I hope
it was funny.
Boy, it was really good. We had Tony Hale in it, and Tony Hale's a genius, so he's really funny in it. And it's
another Emmy winner that might bring you some luck.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. That's why we're trying. We're trying to get what's her name on the show? I can't even remember. Meryl Streep. So we can get an Oscar nom.
Also, if we get a nomination, I promise not to get quite as drunk at the party this year.
Well, then don't give us the nomination, because that was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Hey, Joel, a couple of questions for you on another topic. You're hosting the ESPYs coming up this summer. I know you're a big sports fan. What's that going to be like?
Well, a lot of Seahawks will be there, and that's all it. I just want to meet them and hang out. It's being written right now, and starting Monday, it's KP's on the team. Sorry, Ed. He only likes highlight, so we can only. Yeah. No,
like
but
one joke tops.
Yes, one. No, we.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know we don't know exactly what it's going to be, but hopefully it's really funny. At least the opening part, and then we get to, as Billy Crystal says, we get to give a bunch of millionaires statues, golden statues. No, but I'm very excited to do it, and I'm so happy ESPN asked me and ABC asked me. I'm thrilled because it brings together two things that I love a lot.
Money and clothes.
Money and clothes.
Yeah.
It is like I'm thrilled. I am truly thrilled to be hosting it.
Any particular sports star or team or whatever? You mentioned the Seahawks from this past year that you really want to meet.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll talk about Deflategate. I'm sure we're gonna hit. I'm sure we'll hit FIFA. So every major sports thing is in play. So, but in some of, no, I don't want to tell you that.
LeBron James flashed America this morning. I don't know if you know that.
No.
Is that in the show?
It was during the pregame last night.
Yeah.
We also got his head torn open by a camera.
Yeah.
Any of that going to be on tonight's show?
No, we usually try to stick from. Well, we don't show a lot of sports stuff on The Soup because E viewers aren't the biggest sports fans.
E's audience breaks out into a small hive when we bring it up. It's got to cross over in a natural way.
If their uniforms look terrific, then we could bring that up.
Yeah, sports have to penetrate a Kardashian before we're allowed to talk about it.
Oh,
there we go. There's a quote.
There's the quote.
Joel, I really enjoyed you on the White House dinner last year, and I know you hosted the Independent Spirit Awards as well. I remember you doing that and being very funny. Do you pull when you are going to do another live event like ESPYs? Do you pull from those experiences?
Well, yes, I get to the same level of panic and hope, and I usually run around a lot of flop sweat. And me exploding in anger at inanimate objects.
I am not an inanimate object. I screwed that joke up.
He's pretty drunk.
Yeah.
And then heavy drinking when it's all over. So I'll do all that.
I remember, now I can't think of who it was, but somebody was talking about hosting that White House dinner. Maybe it was Stephen Colbert a few weeks ago. I saw him on something, and he said, "What you don't realize when you're the host is how on TV, you can't hear the applause and the laughter as much, like you can in the room. So people thought he was bombing that were just sitting at home.
Well, it is a weird thing because they don't mic the audience, and which seems you can hear. It's like it feels like when you watch it back that it's taped in a huge oil drum, and
which essentially it is.
Yes, it's a huge room. It's like 6,000 people in that room, and none of them are mic'd. But I mean, as far as a gig goes, it's the strangest, most kind of wonderful gig ever. It is the most nerve-wracking anything I've ever done, except for hiding this body, which I had to think about a lot. But it is strange. And then you close. I mean, the president opens for you, and Barack Obama is, no matter what your politics are, he is terrific at telling jokes. And so you get, he literally kind of warms up the audience, and he wins. He's so good. But yeah, the audience is not mic'd, and that's a little bit unfair, but unfair on what scale or what scope. I mean, you're hosting the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
You told me right when everyone got done, you said that right before right in the middle of the introduction, he was just like, can't I just sit here and keep talking to Michelle Obama? Can't I just wouldn't that be nice enough if I just got to do that?
Yeah. I mean, that's the other weird part. You have a 2-hour dinner with the First Lady, and she's the coolest woman ever, next to my wife and my mom. But she's absolutely lovely and cool and so smart and all that. And the whole time you're freaking out because you're about to go do one of the most high pressure gigs of your life.
Well, maybe they can join you on the ESPYs. He could open for you, and she could comfort you backstage.
Oh, yes, Michelle Obama, please come open for me at the ESPYs. That would be great.
Well, good luck with that. I can't wait to see that. I'm a huge sports fan. When I'm on the computer all day, I've got all these sports talk shows on in the background, and of course Friday evenings I got the Soup on. So I know you've all got to get this show ready for tonight.
You actually you put money on it.
What's that?
You think we have a chance?
It was so difficult getting into that old variety category, as I mentioned. It's been the same nominees for I think 3 years in a row. That this new sketch category, I've got you in my predictions. I really think you're getting in there with Amy and
Yep.
Portlandia and maybe a Key and Peele, something like that.
How many can be nominated? 6?
I think it's 6.
I'm gonna go with a big no, but you become my favorite person in the world. So sorry.
Well, I've helped a lot of people get Emmy nominations and win, so I'm gonna try to work my magic from this end.
According to your wall, you haven't helped anybody since 1978.
Well, there are other people around the wall. In fact, Conan pointed out yesterday that he wasn't on the wall, that he really wanted to be on the wall, and I told him what he would need to do to get up there. So
maybe if we get nominated, will you put us on there?
it's very simple. You send me something that's autographed, and it goes on the wall.
Oh, great.
Here, autograph.
Here,
autograph. There we go.
Oh,
That'll be a little hard to get on the wall.
Yeah. It's a beautiful bottle. This is really good stuff. From where? Yep, Kentucky.
What I'd be curious about is whether the Academy is the one that slotted us in that direction, or if that's where we submitted. And I'm honestly not sure. I am glad that we're in that category. I love the shows in that category. And like you said,
it's a combination of both. You do submit, your paperwork and you indicate where you want to be, but there is a committee that makes the final determination. So,
what other shows did they move out of the comedy category, or if any?
I could tell you if you hang on a second. At least from what we know, we'll know for certain on Monday because sometimes things change. But I could tell you here.
I really like Sonic Highways, the Dave Grohl show.
No, that's more of I think that's like an informational series, something like that.
I'm saying in general, I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Silicon Valley.
Yeah, Silicon Valley, I think, is the best straight-up comedy show on TV right now.
Yeah, we just had Thomas Middleditch and Zach Woods on yesterday.
I think Community is also.
You've never seen it. I have no idea.
I have seen every episode except for however many I haven't seen this season.
Just say paintball episodes.
Yeah.
Usually can cover you.
Okay, Saturday Night Live, obviously, they've been in the other category forever, and they'll move over. Amy Schumer, Portlandia, Key and Peele, Comedy, Bang Bang, At Midnight, Drunk History, Whose Line Is It Anyway, The Kroll Show, Tosh.0, The Soup, some of those.
Yeah, we're better than all those guys.
Yeah, we have a really good chance.
There might be some more, too. We'll know on the ballots.
Definitely.
Well, guys, I know you got a show to put together. Thank you so much for joining me. And hopefully we'll see those nominations over in July.
Hey,
Awesome.
I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, Chris, thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for thinking